Matt Murdock is in the fight of his life, but is the man without fear ready to go down swinging? Well, let's hop into Daredevil issue number 611 and 612, the finale of the Death of Daredevil storyline, and find out for ourselves. Alright, so picking up from where the last issue left off, Daredevil is coming to terms with just how royally screwed he is. James Wesley is dead, and with him so is Matt's chance of exposing the Kingpin for rigging the New York mayoral election. Matt is also nowhere closer to unmasking who Vigil is, Kingpin's mysterious new assassin who has dogged him at every turn. Furthermore, even though Kingpin paid to have Wesley, his most loyal servant, killed, that still doesn't mean that he's going to spare any expense in making sure that everyone else in New York is gunning for Daredevil. And the first one out of the floodgate looking to try and claim the bounty Fisk put on Matt's head is Stiltman. Which Stiltman? Well, it's funny, Matt wonders that himself. This isn't the female Stiltman, and it can't be the original Stiltman because his tech is too good. As we soon discover, this isn't one Stiltman, this is a whole army of stilt men. What do you call that, a flock, a murder? Maybe a troop? Yeah, I like that, a troop of Stiltmen, that sounds about right. As Matt discovers all too late, the Stiltmen weren't here to kill him, they were only here to corral him into the nearby sports stadium where the rest of his rogues can take a crack at him. In fact, some of his greatest foes of all time have united: Typhoid Mary, Electro, Gladiator, Ten Fingers, even Akari from the Mark Waid run. But wait, that's impossible, I think to myself. Most of these guys are dead or have been missing for years. And you know, without giving too much away, if I hadn't already guessed the conclusion of this storyline in issue 1, this stuff right here would have been the final straw to give it away. Now, how does Daredevil deal with his own personal Sinister Six? Well, unlike Spider-Man, he decides to actively play everyone in the group against one another. He says that Fisk is only going to want to pay one of these guys, and it's not like they're all going to split the bill later on. And from there, old Hornhead goes out of his way to actually show just how well he knows his villains. The Claw tries to blast him with Sonics, which in turn hit Akari, which isn't used to that kind of attack. Typhoid Mary and Electro try and get all elemental, but they forget that they're in a public building, and because of that end up tripping the sprinklers and drowning out their own abilities. Yeah, it would seem like Daredevil was able to pull victory from the jaws of defeat on this one, but no gathering of DD foes would be complete without Bullseye, probably his most hated foe. Bullseye gets the drop on a tired and ragged Daredevil, and he would have been able to finish him off too were it not for the late intervention of Mike Murdock, Matt's former fake brother turned current real brother who managed to show up just in the nick of time. Pretty damn convenient, right? Well, in the next issue too, Daredevil questions this. After all, he and Mike didn't leave on the best terms, and even though Mike seems to care very much about his brother Matt, Daredevil and friends did indeed try and wipe Mike away, so why is he willing to help out now? This is a question that will have to be answered another day because Daredevil ends up coming under attack by Vigil, who just so happened to know exactly where he was. If this all seems really suspicious, and if it seems like several suspicious things are all starting to pile up, well, you're correct. It's a tough fight, and Daredevil only manages to get away because Vigil kicks him out a window. And that, children, is called what again? Yes, that's right, defenestration. That's our word of the day. Now, things really start to heat up in this finale when Daredevil, apropos of nothing, decides to eavesdrop on a conversation between one of Wilson Fisk's fixers and the Mad Thinker, who is both still in the main 616 universe and sporting his old haircut, even though if you've been reading Marvel 2 and 1, you'll know he started masquerading as Reed Richards. This might seem like a plot hole at first, but it really isn't. You see, Mad Thinker was the one who used his intelligence to help Wilson Fisk fix the election, and he would have gotten away with it too if Thinker didn't get greedy and start demanding more money very loudly and very publicly. Matt thinks this is the ultimate piece of ammunition he'll need to finally bring Wilson Fisk down in a court of law, and thankfully, because a few arcs back, he and Foggy managed to enact a new law that allows superheroes to take the stands in matters like this. It's time for Daredevil to get up on there. But you're probably thinking, hey wait, that happened quick. What's stopping Kingpin from just killing Daredevil once he takes the stand? Well, funny you should mention that, because the entire superhero community has shown up to support Matt in taking down the Kingpin. Hey wait, if you're all here, who's defending the city? Alpha Flight? Ultimately, though, it's Kingpin himself who ends up hammering the final nail into his coffin. They attack his vanity on the stand and he snaps at the prosecutor, making himself look incredibly guilty in the process. Big Willie style ain't used to getting spanked this publicly, and because of that he starts to wonder why he even bothered running for mayor in the first place if it was only going to have so many eyes on him. The Kingpin is impeached and peace once again reigns in New York City. Well, as peaceful as New York City gets, and if all of this seems like everything just sort of fell into Daredevil's lap, wait for it. You see, Vigil is still around and still gunning for Matt Murdock even though the Kingpin has gone underground, and that's because, well, Vigil was never hired by the Kingpin. And so the satanic-themed superhero and the church-clad criminal have themselves one final dust-up wherein Matt finally unmasks this foe, only to reveal his own face underneath the mask, and then Styx, and then Foggy's, and then Blind Spots, and indeed many different people. And that's because this entire battle that Daredevil has been fighting against the Kingpin, none of it has actually been real. I hate to say I totally called it in issue 1, but I totally called it in issue 1, everybody. This has all been a dream that Matt has been having while surgery was done on him after getting hit by the bus in the beginning of this arc. Daredevil wonders to himself if this is how it's all going to end, not with a bang, but with a whimper, never knowing if Kingpin is brought to justice for his crime. But Matt also thinks to himself that he's fought this battle before. He's fought it many times, in fact, over and over, and if he pulls through, will he only do it some more? Is this maybe, just maybe, a good death? At that time, too, he actually ends up seeing the ghost of Karen Page, his first love taken from him too soon, beckoning him to the other side. And on the final page, as things go dark and Matt's pulse flatlines, we are met with the words, "I cannot see the light, so I will become the light. I am not afraid. I am Daredevil." And it's on that truly gut punch of a note right there that Daredevil issue number 612, the finale of the death of Daredevil, comes to a close. And in fact, so does Charles Soule's years run long on the character come to a close as well. What did I think of it? Well, I'm a little disappointed that I called the twist ending literally in issue 1, but then again, I like Soule's work so much, I'm uniquely familiar with it and was able to pick small little things out. I do think he managed to bring Matt's story full circle in a lot of ways, and I like the idea of giving him one happy, sunny victory even though his life is so routinely defined by tragedy and loss. And I would call it a good death, and especially a good death scene, but we know this isn't really the end for Daredevil. They've already announced a new number 1 written by Chip Zdarsky, and a little mini-series to tide us over in between. You can also still read Daredevil over in the pages of Marveled Knights, so this isn't one of those absence will make the heart grow fonder thing. He didn't really go anywhere, except for on TV. There, he's truly dead. Ultimately, though, I was satisfied with this ending. I'm sad to see Charles Soule's go, but I'm interested to see where the book is going to go in the future. I give this finale an 8.5 out of 10.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cave Joel again. I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed what you saw, and if you did, why not take a closer look at some of these other videos I have available from the channel. Then you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Cave Joel, so you're always up to speed on what I'm doing next. And hey, if you're in a supportive mood, why not check out my Patreon page? Patrons get exclusive access to videos and content before anyone else, and you can do so for as little as $1 a month. I would really appreciate it, and with that, I will be sure to be back again next time with even more great comic content that smacks of greatness. Bye-bye, everyone.